Yellow hair, good to see you or not see you. Good to feel you, because I'm feeling people on the other side here. On the other side. Did you know that you're on the other side? Well, it's a bit bright. Hang on. Hang on a sec. Is that better? Is that better? Slightly better. Okay, what am I going to say today? I'm intrigued. I went to my daughter's musical yesterday. She was in an Oliver Twist, and I was so excited for her. I remember watching Oliver, the movie, when I was a kid. So I had a vague memory, like I remembered, Papa and food, glorious food, and got to pick a pocket or two. But when watching the story, and the kids were great in it, but it was the actual story, I ended up sitting in the hall trying not to have tears running down my face. And I'm like, it was dark, so I'm like, okay, and we were sitting right at the back because we were late, a little bit late. My daughter noticed, it's so funny, it was fully dark and the lights were all, if you're on a stage and the lights are in your face, you can't really see anything, but yet she saw us coming late. Okay, but so why was I holding back tears? Why was I, I was crying. I was finding it hard because, oh my goodness, I just swallowed a fly, or almost swallowed a fly. Holy guacamole, that just went straight from my tongue. What is with that? So, okay, I'll think about that later, what that means. A fly on the tongue. So what really made me sad, especially at the end, so Nancy dies. Nancy committed to a man who is somewhat of a brute, but, he needs her. She'll be there, and he ends up killing her. And that has happened a lot in our society. There has been, do we call it undying love or dying love, and it has been either way. It's not always just the man killing the woman or hurting the woman. It can go the other way. And each of us has male, female within us, energies, divine masculine, divine feminine. But what really got me also in watching Oliver Twist was the fact that all these poor children were living under a bridge, was it, or in poverty, and they were orphaned, and then they were being utilised to steal, because what other choice did they have? And at the end, so Oliver actually, he wasn't just some poor orphan, his mother was a daughter of a rich man, and that was found out, and then he was saved because he wasn't actually a poor child, poor orphan, he was actually a privileged heir to a fortune or whatever it was. And I'm like, okay, so he got saved because, he wasn't actually a poor street urchin. He was originally a wealthy child of privilege. But, yes, great, one child who wasn't meant to be in that circumstance was saved. But what about all the other children? Because as far as I'm concerned, money doesn't make you better. And I don't want to cut myself off from money. Money's an energy which we utilize in this reality realm to keep some semblance of order and to create with. So it is an energy of creation, because when you have money, you can be, do, have. But in this storyline, and it was like, yeah, okay, so, Nancy died, her killer, Bill Sykes, died, and then all the children that were still living in poverty, they just stayed in poverty. That one child, privileged child, was saved because they weren't meant to be there anyway. But I don't think any children are meant to be there. No child. Like, we are all children of the universe. We are all divine beings of light and love. And you don't deserve to be saved just because, oh, you weren't meant to be there. Somehow you slipped through a crack and you are actually an important child. So lucky we saved you. No. No. All children deserve to be saved. And that's where also, and this could be a bit dark, but in this trick track, Groundhog Week, power struggle, greed, creation, which some people call the false matrix, the child abuse and on all levels is part of the trap, the trick trap, because if you corrupt and compromise and traumatize a soul from being a child, even from birth for some, when they're born into some reality experiences, that is hard to get out of. Like, if you are born into victimhood. What did I write? I wrote something just before. I've done a lot of writing already this morning. I got up early. I was going to potentially have a sleep in, but I woke up and I got up to go to the loo because that's what woke me up. And I went, oh, it's 6:44. Okay, I've still got time to make a coffee and go watch the sunrise. Okay, and this is something I've thought of a lot, and I've probably said it before, but do not argue for your limitations, for your victimhood. And what I wrote here was command your divine destiny into creation. Because, and this is something else, a mirror of the Creator does not beg, the mirror of the Creator commands. And again, that takes me back to how our worlds, worlds and words. There's a connection there. Hang on, let me just write that down. Worlds and words. Words build worlds or create. Words create worlds. That is, I'm going to call this video worlds. Words create worlds. But if you come in and you don't have a chance, like there's some children born into places and spaces with people and things that don't even have a chance. I don't know if I mentioned this a couple of days ago in a video, I've forgotten. But I went looking for a book. There was a particular book I wanted to find, a book that someone suggested that on a comment, let me just quickly find it. And I was looking for it. Where is it? Hang on, I'm just on my computer. What was it? It was... Where is it? Oh, hang on, from Will. Hello Will, if you're watching. And you mentioned the journey to Ixtlan. And I'm going to write that down again because I thought I had. Journey to Ixtlan, a book he suggested with dreaming techniques. And I actually looked it up. And I went, the other day, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go follow my nose and I might find that book because I've had that happen before. I didn't find that book, but I found a few others. And then there was one I didn't buy. It was called A Child Called It. And I read the back and it stuck in my mind all day, but I was already fighting back the tears when I read the back about this poor child. So it was the author writing about his life and how he was born, and his mother had mental health problems and tortured him and beat him, and he lived in the basement, called him it. He was pointless, useless, horrible child, not worthy of a name, so she called him it. And he got scraps from the dog bowl, and oh my goodness, like, shit. See, it always gets me. Okay, and that's part of it too. Okay, so pull yourself together, Kerr. Sorry, I don't know, I can cut this out. I haven't, like, I've had a couple of cries. In another couple of videos, and I could have cut it out, but I think I just got to take a breath. Okay. I could have cut it out then, and I can cut this out now. You might not see this. But I want it. I mean, how often are people told to suck it up and don't cry and don't feel? I think, though, I don't want to hang on to this feeling of pain. Like, I can feel the pain, and I feel the pain for the child in that circumstance. And obviously, like, I couldn't buy the book. I knew if I bought that book, I would just soak in all that energy. And at the moment, I know it's so important to be anchoring in higher, more positively orientated energy into the field of collective energy. So I'm not going to trip myself up. But all I had to do was read the back of the book, and I dropped into that pain, into the victim, into the inability to help or to save someone, because obviously that is something that had happened, but that's something that is happening now, and some kids, some poor souls, don't even have a chance. And I know apparently this is something we choose to learn lessons so we can grow, but I am here to say now, I don't think that old model works, and I don't care. I don't care if it comes from the higher realms who go, this is how we do it. I think we need to choose not anymore, because it's such a painful, hard way to grow and expand and evolve. And I feel like we can choose better. I feel like we can have the same growth and expansion and evolution through coming into our truth, through sharing the real reality, through easing the fuck up on each other and not perpetuating this human doing Groundhog Week, people trapped in a cycle of trauma that goes round and round and round. Some people make it out, a lot of people don't. And it can be lifetimes and lifetimes. And I think it is a trick trap that we need to get out of. And even though I don't want to deny the truth of what people have been through in life, in a way, by holding on to that energy, how do we share the stories without undermining our strength and our will to create better? I don't even know what I'm saying there. Do you know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm trying to say, see if you can help me say it better. But I have no idea what I'm saying now. I'm tripping myself up. But let me just actually go back to Oliver Twist. So that was just sad. And also interrelated with the book that I read, just the blurb of, and there I am in suffering and tears, that we don't need to keep choosing that in order to grow. We don't need to use this old model. I feel like where we're at now, we are shifting into a new modality, but as we are all the one energy, and I don't want to blame, there's a part of our mass consciousness that is afraid of the change and is desperately trying to hold on and to control this outcome and stick in with the familiar energy that we're so used to. So there are parts of us that manifest as in physical people and places and things that is in fear of evolving to this next version of self, version of reality that we can move into in an instant, but there is a fear within us, and we can't outsource that really and say that's someone else, something else, because we are all part of the one energy, even on the higher realms down to the lower realms. I can feel there's some resistance here, because I can feel something right now in my solar plexus. It's feeling really solid, almost like, what does it feel like? And I'm crossing my arms. Body language, I'm crossing my arms. Okay, there's something I need to feel into here. So my solar plexus is feeling activated, it's standing out. And I am crossing my arms, I feel a little defensive. What am I feeling here? So I found I'm super sensitive to energy, super sensitive, which I used to think, I'm even more sensitive now, but I always have been, but I used to think it was a curse. I feel everything. But now I'm realizing, as I'm learning how to actually utilize it as a tool, as an energy reading tool, that it's a good thing, but it's just, I've been learning how to use it. And I'm kind of self-taught in a way, except for whatever I've read and listened and learned. So not really self-taught, because I've been soaking in boundless information. But why? What? For what point? For what outcome? And does there need to be an outcome? Am I just full on rambling again? It's just another ramble. Okay, let me just loosen up for a moment and just breathe. I found whenever things fall into dis-ease or into anxiety, to pause and breathe. Do you want to take a breath with me again? You don't have to, but if you want to, or you could just click off, that's totally fine too. So let's just breathe in. Ready? We'll breathe in, we'll breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 6, hold for 2, and then we'll just go back to normal. Ready? And again, it's that out breath that breaks up the disease and the anxiety. I feel better already, just within that one little breath. So we should all breathe more. We should breathe more. You know, years ago, actually, when I was probably teenager and into my 20s, I can remember realizing that I was holding my breath or just not breathing or breathing really shallow, and kind of going, wow, why do you do that? Yeah. And it's taken me years to actually consciously start taking my long breaths, and now I do a lot of breathing. Apparently, if we don't breathe, we die. But you can breathe little and it just gets you by, but when you really get into the breath and do it consciously and allow that slow exhale. Oh, my nose is so itchy now. Don't look at me as I itch my nose. I just had a 2, 1, 2, 3 on my clock. I've seen a lot of sequence numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. Well, actually not 10, 11, it's normally single numbers because I'm seeing them in the time, on receipts and on number plates. I'm still having a awesome number plate game with the universe or myself. That's the thing we need to keep coming back to, is we are all that is, and all that is everything. So of course we are it. And I keep going back to that, and I'm wondering, how does that help me help others? Because you are all a part of all that is, but you're individual, but part of the whole. So how do we help that child who's born into an already traumatized generational cycle? Because that's what we've had in our world. And this negative part of us that is still in fear and doesn't quite want to commit to the change because it doesn't know what's going to happen. So therefore it's just clinging on to what's here now, and more as you look in our society, trying to control everything and everyone, so that we can't outsource that and say, well, that's them and this is us, because we are them and they are us. So it's a part of our mass universal psyche. So how do we soothe that part of us into letting go the fear and allowing this evolution, this transition into a more beautiful, peaceful, loving, all-inclusive unity consciousness? I am you, you am I. Let's look after every part of us and not condemn and not judge and not try and cast out, because we literally can't, because we are all that is, and energy can no longer be created nor destroyed. It just can't. I don't know if once upon a time could it be created and then it hit a peak, maybe. But as far as I have gained the insight, energy can't be created nor destroyed, and we are all that is. Or what if? Let's go with what if. So how can we soothe the part of us in our psyche, the personalities that are shit scared, so they're stuck in control and fear themselves and trying to keep everyone in that and stuck in this realm because we're just afraid, or a part of us is afraid of the next level. Okay, let's just sit on that. But if you've got anything to add, because I don't want to just talk by myself. I want you to tell me what you think, and let's kind of springboard and brainstorm or heartstorm and bounce off each other and come to conclusions and come to ideas and have more what ifs, and maybe even solidify some of the what ifs, because it is a co-creation. I don't know, I kind of like co-creating. I can create on my own. I'm an artist, I do stuff, but it's much more fun with others. So if you'd like to co-create and you've got ideas, just talk with me. and let's just see where it goes. Plant seeds, and I'll water them. If I want it to grow, I will use my discernment. But I think that's probably long enough. That's enough of me today. So I'm going to go, and I hope you're having a beautiful morning, evening, and I'm sending much love, and I will pop back into Mars.